In this video we're going to be talking about one of the most aggressive running shoes that I've run in all year. We're going to be taking a look at the Wave Rebellion Flash 2 from Mizuno. What is up everybody, and welcome to FORDY Runs. My name is Chris Ford and I'm a running coach who likes to talk about running shoes here on YouTube. Now, why do you keep saying that, FORDY? Well, the reason I keep saying that I'm a coach is because hopefully you think to yourself, actually this is not just some random guy talking complete nonsense. He may know a little bit about something. Okay, right, anyway, so today we're talking about the Wave Rebellion Flash 2, which has had a major overhaul this year. Okay, right, so the Wave Rebellion Flash 2. Now, this is a training shoe, but I do think you can use this in a race as well, and we'll come on to that a little bit further down the line. So in these videos, I like to break it down into sort of stats and features, things I like, things I don't like, and then we sort of wrap it up at the end. But before we do all that, we've got to give a shout out to our sponsors of this video, Start Fitness. Go over to startfitness.co.uk and you can pick these up, and you can use the code FORDYRUNS and you can get 10% off of them. Okay, so we've had these a little while and I didn't want to rush out a review because I wanted to get enough miles in them, and I think we're about 25 to 30 miles in the shoe at the moment. Now, in terms of comparison, I would say the Hoka Mach X is probably a good shout. That's probably where we're at. Boston 12 I think is a bit of a far stretch, but it is that sort of training and competition shoe, which is what this is. Now above this you've got the Wave Rebellion Pro 2, which is an absolute nutcase, and this sits slightly below it. And the shoe's had a major overhaul versus the previous version, which I kind of like actually. And it's taken a lot of the sort of DNA from the Pro and they put it into the Flash, which is why it sort of looks very similar. Okay, so let's get on to the stats and features and tell you what's going on here with the Flash 2. Let me know in the comments, do you keep thinking of the Flash theme tune every time I say the word Flash? Right, so this shoe's £175 at startfitness.co.uk. You can use my code and get 10% off of that. It's 269 grams, so 9 something ounces. This is a UK 10. Mizuno shoes, the Rebellion series go, I need to go up a size. We'll come on to that a little bit. The shoe's got a 35mm stack in the heel, and it goes down, I think, only about 0.5. It's quite a almost zero drop shoe. In terms of foams, we've got a top layer of Mizuno Energy Light Plus, and then on the bottom layer we've got Mizuno Energy, which is the firmer compound. Again, we'll come on to that. We've got a full length infused fiberglass nylon plate running through the full length of the shoe. We've got a nice rubber outsole, decent coverage. I'll come on to that as well. And I think that's probably about it. Oh, we've got a nice mesh upper. Actually, I really like the upper. Again, I'll come on to that in things I like. Okay, right, so where do we start? Yeah, so firstly the fit, UK 10 for me, not a 9.5. I struggled with the Pro because the Pro won, because I was a 9.5 they sent me, but actually I needed 10. So when the guys at Start Fitness sent this over to me, I said, please make sure whatever you do when the shoe comes in, make sure you send me a 10. And it's worked out really well. The sizing's on point for me. So here's the two layers of foam. We've got the sort of softer foam up the top, and then we've got the fiberglass plate or nylon plate going through there, and then we've got the firmer energy foam down the bottom, which works really well in terms of the two different compounds. Then we've got that good rubber coverage on the outsole, and you can see that cut out through there in the fiberglass plate, but you've got decent rubber coverage on the outsole, which is good for those training miles. I think it's worked pretty well. You've got this heel bevel here, quite aggressive, but it's not as aggressive as the Pro. Lacing's good, lockdown's good. There's enough foam around the heel and, you know, in the foot area to make it comfortable. But again, this is a training and competition shoe, so you don't want it overly comfortable. The tongue is not gusseted, but I've got it attached here. I don't know if you can see that into the tongue, so it's no problems in terms of fit. And yeah, that is probably about it in terms of the bits and bobs that you need to know. Right, again, keep it simple. So things I like. I really like the upper. I really like the whole fit of the shoe. I like the heel counter. I like the laces. Yeah, the fact that I've gone up to that 10 is really making a difference in terms of the fitting for me, but I really like the upper on this shoe. I like the outsole coverage. I think that works really well. It's really grippy and really tacky. It is, look, all the way down there. It is really good, the outsole on this shoe. I like the two foams to a degree, and I'll come on to it in the dislikes, but I like the energy return from the foams. I like actually the setup of the foams when they're working for you. I'll come on to this. But yeah, they work really well. I think the shoe looks good. I think it looks a bit barking mad, but I like the look of the shoe. What else? Now that's probably about it in terms of likes. Okay, so dislikes, £175 for a training competition shoe is moving up, I think, in the wrong area, but that's fine. Okay, it is a premium product, it is well made, but just be aware of it. I don't like the fact that you always feel like you're standing like this in the shoe. It's absolutely nuts how a sort of heel weighted you feel in the shoe, just walking about in them and things like that, okay? So when you put this on, you are going to think like you're going to be leaning back, and it is a bit annoying, but it's not designed to be walking about. It's meant to be designed for running. And if you are a heel striker, you need to avoid this shoe at all costs, all right? Because this will really cause you some major issues if you're back here. It's a bit of a dislike, but it's not really, but it is. And that's the fact you've got to be on it with this shoe. You've got to be here or below in your training runs and those speedier sessions to get the most out of the shoe. If you go back here, this starts getting a bit weird and a bit wild. It's very, very narrow across here, and the stability in it is not brilliant. So if you are not on it in this shoe, which again, you should be, because this is a training competition shoe in terms of speed workouts and then into race. If you're back here and there, you're going to get yourself into a bit of trouble. So it's kind of a bit of a dislike. It's not something like, that's why I say it's not like the Boston 12, because the Boston 12 you can kind of ease off into it and just love life. Even the Hoka to a degree you can ease off on it. This thing is very aggressive. You need to be here or down here. And that's it in terms of dislikes. There's not a lot. Oh, the other thing I like about it is the weight. I think it feels a lot lighter on foot than it actually is reading on the scales. 9 whatever ounces, it feels a lot lighter than that, especially even in hand. Okay, right, so the problem I have with the shoe is that it's kind of limited for me in terms of where I can use it. Now, that's not a bad thing, because this shoe's now going to sit in the rotation for my speed workouts and anything in terms of like harder workouts that I'm going to use it for. Also heel repeats and things like that. It's very good at that. I'm interested to know what it'd be like in a race. I am kind of tempted to shove it into a like a 10k or something like that, just to see what it's like. But I do think in terms of usage, it's a little bit less versatile than some of the other shoes that are out there. But when you are on it, from here down, the foams work really well together. The plate is not super rigid. It's not super aggressive, and it does work with you, but you've got to be on your game, okay? And that's what I say about using it for those speed workouts, those higher efforts in the week. Then the shoe does come alive. But the minute you step off the gas, you feel like you're going to fall backwards. And as I said, the stability of it is questionable, okay? So that's something really to be aware of if you are like pronating in any shape or form. So I think this is a good shoe to have in your rotation if you're looking for a shoe to do speed workouts and then take it into race day. But it is limited in versatility versus something like a Saucony Endorphin Speed 4. That's what it's going to be coming up against, and that's the issue that I think the shoe will suffer from. But here's the thing. If you absolutely love the Mizuno Wave Rebellion Pro, then this is probably a very good training partner with it. Now, I know a lot of you guys and girls love that shoe. For me, it was too aggressive, okay? And Wave Rebellion Pro 2, I'm not going to get on the channel because it's completely nuts. But I think this would work very well with it. And that's where I kind of like what Mizuno have done, because they have taken you down a notch. So you can train in this shoe. You can do some of those harder workouts in your training in the shoe. And if you want to go and do a target pace run as a race or whatever, you can use this instead of your race day shoe in terms of the Pro. So I kind of get that, and I kind of appreciate that. But there are some warnings, as I said, to come with this shoe. If you're a heel striker, avoid it like the plague. If you have any sort of stability issues, avoid it like the plague. But if you like the Wave Rebellion Pro 1 or 2, you're going to love this. This is a great training partner for it. I think this is a lot of fun, this shoe. It really is. When you're up on your toes and you're going for it, these two foams work very well with this nylon plate or this fiberglass plate. It works very well. I love the upper on this shoe. I think it looks great, and it does really work well for you. It always seems to be trying to make you run faster, and I kind of dig that in a shoe. But as soon as you go down here, then, well, all bets are off. So yeah, this is a funny one. I think this is a selective audience to a degree. If you're a big fan of Wave Rebellion, you're going to absolutely love this shoe. If you found Wave Rebellion Pro a fraction too aggressive, this could work for you as well. But I also think this is going to be restrictive for some people, okay? So it's a bit of a Marmite shoe, I think, this one. I like it. I like the fact that I'm now lucky enough to have this in my rotation to pull out for those speed workouts, for those fast efforts, for those heel repeats when I've got to charge up a hill and all that sort of stuff. I think this is going to be a lot of fun to continue to have in the rotation. But I think it's safe for everyday runners. I think the usage may be a little bit limited, but there you go. Right, guys, that's my honest feedback. As always on this shoe, we'll put this into the rotation, I say, as a permanent fixture now. We'll get it out for those speed workouts as we continue our marathon training, and we'll see how much trouble we can get ourselves into.